Oh, afternoon. How is everybody? Oh, a little bit of afternoon live streaming. I have been quite busy actually today. In the middle of recording a basing video for the Empress Children, and I have been feverishly painting and building because I have my first game tonight. First game. So it's going to be awesome. So is anyone else doing some hobby today? Just going to continue on from where I was yesterday. Continue working on these tormentors. I want to get these 3 guys done so I can move on to the first unit of Noise Marines. And ultimately, obviously, I've got basically a week and a half. So I was working on this guy yesterday. Doing this guy yesterday. And then I was also working on these 2 as well. Which is what the plan is today. And then obviously we can start, if I get those guys done, I can then start the Noise Marines. But yeah, it's been good. I've got the 10 Infractors built and the other Noise Marine squad. When I say the Noise Marine squad are built, they're basically built like that, and then all of the weapons will be done separately, and then and the power packs, and I'll start gluing them all together. But yeah, should be a good one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this guy. Have I lost my Thundeer Brown? Please say I have not lost my Thundeer Brown. Thundeer Brown is one of my favourite colours. Ah no, found it. So I'll probably stream for a couple of hours, till probably about 4. And then chill out. Got my first game tonight, playing my mate Pete. It's going to be an interesting game. So I'm taking on an Imperial Guard army. So it's going to be quite fun. I believe he's bringing a Rogel Dawn tank. So I'll go through my list in a second of what I'm bringing. And basically it's kind of all I have. And then I'm going to sort of model a proxy, Lucius the Eternal. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. First time of getting them out on the table, so I'm super excited. Super excited. So the straps, Thundeer Brown. If you need to know how I paint leather, I have a tutorial up on the channel already, so feel free to go and check that out. And obviously, if you want to join the Discord, you can. A couple of people joined yesterday. It was pretty cool. So yeah, let's talk lists. So my list that I'm going to be bringing, it's 1015 points. There's no enhancements. It's basically Lucius the Eternal, our Lord Exultant, a Demon Prince, 2 Noise Marine squads, 10 Tormentors, and 10 Infractors. That's it. That's my list. Probably going to run it in Peerless Bladesmaster. And what I'm taking on is a Acadian command squad with a load of stuff, lots of veterans. Lord Solar Lenantus, the dude on the horsey. Then a Death Corps of Krieg squad. I believe there's 20 in there. And all of the stuff. A dedicated transport with a Chimera. And then there's an artillery team. I think that's that big, massive artillery piece that you get in the army box. Then there's 5 Death Riders, 10 Kassakin, a Rogel Dawn tank, and a Scout Sentinel. Like, what? Like, what the hell? It's so yeah. It's gonna be fun. I've got it definitely coming up against me on this one. I think my plan is just to go hard. See if I can get into him as quickly as I can, and then, see if I can kill him, get into his lines as quickly as I can, and just try to do as much damage as I can. Try to screen or use the terrain, because my list is entirely, apart from the Demon Prince, is entirely infantry based, so I'm going to be able to run around the buildings a little bit better than what his tanks are. So, but still, that is a lot of armor coming at me. So I think it's going to hurt. Yeah, man. Thought I'd jump on live. I figured I might as well, if I'm sitting here to paint, I might as well. Yeah, I might as well live stream. I need to do more live streaming, I think. So yeah. Right. I think I've pretty much got that. So I just need that wash to dry, and then I can do the edge highlighting. But hey Nurgle, how's you? I should be sort of drying this and getting this finished for the tutorial, but rather than use a hairdryer, I'll feel I'll just let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. Oh yes, I've got one pre-ordered. Yeah, I've got one pre-ordered. I've got one in my main pre-order with Fulgrim and Lucius. But to be fair, I'll probably... Yeah, I'm playing Guard against Guard tonight. I'll probably get a second one pre-ordered next week. So, but yeah, playing Guard. Will I be on Discord? I'm always on. I'll be in Discord all the time because I've got the app on my phone. I haven't checked the Warhammer community today, see if there's any good articles. What I have been enjoying some Space Marine 2. I've done the new operation. Oh, it's very fun. Unlocked all of my Space Wolf cosmetics. Well, apart from a couple of the pack markings for some of the great companies, but pretty much I've practically unlocked everything. Was going to live stream that today. Only thing I don't pre-order was Flawless Blades. Yeah, I'm waiting for the Combat Patrol for the Flawless Blades. Waiting for them. I think it's just that box is just great value. So, you know, 6 of them in a box, that's just really, really good. Whereas buying them singly is not so much. I know you get the Lord Exultant in that box, but having multiple Lord Exultants isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, you can have different loadouts, different configurations, and yeah, it would be. And plus, he's such a nice model. So, you know, you'll be able to get something pretty decent with him. But I have a goal up there for any super chats or any memberships. Remember, I've changed all the memberships and everything else, so if you want to become a channel member, get your own little private area in the Discord and help build the community around the channel, then it's only 99p. I am not going to do what other channels do and, you know, have goals up on the screen for memberships and super chats and stuff like that and constantly go on about them. If you want to support the channel in that way, then feel free. Oh, just come from streaming Space Marine 2. Did you? Did you have good? Oh, meant for chat. If I'm on, I might be. Obviously, I'm going to my club tonight, so I might be in. Yeah, I'll definitely be getting 2, but I'll probably end up getting 3. Because they just are such great value. And the extra 30 troops, I wouldn't mind getting, because I'm probably going to run. I'm probably going to run probably about 40 to 50 normal Marines easily. There's some of the lists that I've been looking at to doing. You know, it's the lists are pretty decent, and I think for now, while they're pretty cheap, I mean, what infractors are 160 points for 10 guys. That's mental. But yeah, only 60 subscribers away from hitting 4,000, so if we don't hit it soon, I'm probably going to do a push to 4,000 stream. Right, that's the leather done. You can really go mental into it, but that's the leather done. Right, I'm going to do the this piece of skin. Bit of skin. But, I mean, one of the lists, and in fact, we'll go through the points now. One of the lists I'm thinking of doing, we'll go through it now. Because I'd like to, I'm going to do a video on it at some stage, but probably in the next video log. But let's have a little look-see. So, one of the things I want to do is, what's that? 220 add 220, then 3 Land Raiders at 240 add 240 add 240 equals add Lucius the Eternal, and then two Rhinos. So another 80 points. And then that leaves me 50. So, so for 1,900 points, right? The list that I'm very tempted of doing is 3 6-man units of Flawless Blades, 3 Land Raiders, alright? Lucius the Eternal, and then 2 units of Noise Marines in 2 Rhinos, and that literally comes in at 1,950. Is it any good? Probably not. Would it be really fun to paint and build? Hell yeah. 3 Land Raiders? Hell yeah. That would be so good. So good. So this week we've got on Warhammer TV, we've got Lawmaster talking about the Gene Stealer cult, a Mega Gargant paint off, and that's it. Like, this is like, yeah. The quality of content that you get on Warhammer Plus is shocking. Like, the kind of stuff they're putting on there, they realistically should be putting out for free on Warhammer, on the Warhammer YouTube channel. But, you know. So what I did was I gave that sort of purpley wash yesterday, and then what I'm doing now is just going back in with Rakkar Flesh and just picking out the raised areas, leaving that sort of purpley pink in the recesses. Again, you don't need to go crazy on this. You can just stipple it in and get a little bit of highlights in, but and then get a bit of Pallid Witch Plus in there. But yeah, what do you think of that list? I think it's going to be great. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that list. I think it's going to be. I think that list would be brilliant. I just need an excuse to buy 3 Land Raiders. Because how everything works, if I buy 3 Land Raiders and paint 3 Land Raiders up, within a day or two of me buying the 3rd Land Raider and building it, Games Workshop will announce a brand new plastic Land Raider. Guaranteed. Because that's how this thing works. That's how things work. Okay. I'm thinking this guy, this body is almost finished. Only really the weapon to do. Bit of Fenrisian grey on the edges of the armour. But yeah, I'm thinking he's pretty much almost done. Obviously, the vial, which I'm going to do in a second. But yeah, remember that if you do want to join the Discord, you can do. There is a link on the channel in the links section. Just click on that. If it doesn't work, let me know, and I'll generate a new one and put that into the chat. Right. So I need to do these little pipes. Okay, so the little pipes are super simple to do. I just paint them black and then I'll start working them up to the green. The green is a bit of a spot colour across the army. It works really, really well with the pink. And it's a nice little visual contrast. So while that's drying, we're going to get a little bit of Balthazar blue. We're going to do some verdigris on the shoulder pad. Probably, to be fair, put a bit more Sortek green in there first. Oh, I had a big puddle of water on my wet palette and I've just put paint in it. It's now like oozed everywhere. No. Okay. As everyone is getting really excited for Space Wolves, would anybody like me to do a painting tutorial for Space Wolves on the channel? because I reckon that would be pretty cool. Right, let that dry. What do you think of him? Pretty decent? Oh wow, that's a big bit of pink right there inside. Right, guys. It's better. You had me seriously considering doing a brass gold shoulder pad like that. Oh, pink. Well, you should have watched yesterday's live stream. I did a complete live tutorial for it. But it's basically these 4 colours. So, base coat, pink horror and screamer pink for your shadows, and fulgrim pink for your highlight. And that's pretty much it. To be fair, the brass shoulder pad actually works, and I kind of like it, to be fair. I can't take credit for that. That was massively inspired from Fletcher's Emperor's Children on Tabletop Tactics. If you look at their studio army, they have a this sort of worn leather, worn brass shoulder pad, and I thought that looks so damn cool. I'm gonna do that. Now, their army's a little bit different in regards to they have pink on the arms and the legs, whereas I'm literally just keeping the pink to the helmet, the head, the shoulder pad, and the power pack. And that's across the entire army. I'm still trying to work out how I'm going to bring that colour combination onto the rhinos. I've decided I'm going to use Horus Heresy rhinos, and I'll probably just use the normal 40k Chaos Rhino, purely because the 30k Rhino is a little bit small. So there is that. And then just weather that up. But yeah, I think the pink works really, really well. As soon as they announced the army, and I was like to my partner, Mrs. Pointy, I was like, I'm doing them, I'm getting the Emperor's Children, I don't care, I'm getting them. 100% doing the Emperor's Children. And the first thing I sat there and did, while after literally making the video about the announcement and the preview and saying I'm 100% getting this box, blah de blah de blah, was to start mentally working out how I was going to paint the pink. And that's like, how was I going to do it? I was going to do it in the 30k colors, like mostly purple and the gold, or was I going to go a bit old school and like randomly do pink and black on random parts? I was going to make it a bit more uniformed, and eventually I settled on doing it like this. But the pink, like it's Empress Children pink. It's called Empress Children pink. So I figured, you know what, let's use that. And I think that shoulder pad has turned out really, really well. So yeah, before some of the, shall we say, cheaper options disappeared, I was considering using one of the Horus Heresy Imperial tanks as my rhinos, trying to remember the name. The Horus Heresy Imperial tanks. You mean one of these? Not too sure what that one is. I really like that pink. Oh, cheers, Black Primer. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We do have a Discord now. If anyone would like to join, there is a link in the video, in the channel, under my links at the top of the channel page, just above the subscribe button. So on the home page, if you want to click that and join, and then you can show off the show off your work in the work in progress and finished projects area. So feel free to do that. Right, what was I painting on this guy now? Oh yeah, I need to do studs, metal studs. I'm not going to do the plasma effect on that gun yet. I'll do that later. Question is, do you want me to do the vial on the side of his leg? Yeah, I would have had these guys done today if I wasn't distracted by Space Marine 2. Right, so that's what I was doing, the cables. Open track design. I don't think I've ever seen one of them. I don't think I've ever seen that tank. The Dracon, is that one of the solar auxiliary ones? I don't think I've ever seen that tank. I got my hands on the Empress Children Army box, but I have such a big backlog of stuff, I don't know when I will paint them. Hey dude, that box is amazing. One, you probably get one of the nicest codexes. Like, let's be honest. Like, the front cover of the codex with Adrian Smith's art work, classic OG Empress Children artwork from the 4th edition codex, like having that on the front cover, that's just peak. Do you know what I mean? Although I'm not too sure if any of you have been around 40k long enough to remember that codex, but oh man, I love that codex. I really wish I still had my copy of it. I don't know. I think a lot of my old codexes were in a storage box in my cupboard, in our outside. So, because I used to live in an apartment with my ex-wife, and we had like the six apartments had I called it the shed, but it was like a big storage cupboard outside near the back door, in the sort of like, I don't know what you would call that, a utility room. It wasn't even a utility room. It was kind of you come out the hall and you went into this back room where the back door was to the building, and we all had like a shed basically, and I had a big massive plastic container storage box in there with a load of old white dwarfs and codexes and stuff like that, and that's pretty much where it was. But when I moved out, I never brought it with me, and I assume she's probably threw it in the bin by now. So it is probably gone. But yeah, that book was amazing. That was like my first big love into Chaos Space Marines in a really big way. It was such a good book. I remember you could used to have like icons. Oh, wicked, dude! Thank you for joining. Yeah, so I had a Black Legion army, and I'd free-handed like the Eye of Sauron on all of their shoulder pads because it kind of reminded me of the Eye of Horus. And every single one of them I'd free-handed it on. So I was like really quite impressed with that. It was like the first bit of freehand I'd ever did. And they used to be able to get icons like banners in your squads, and they used to act as like teleport homers for demons. So you used to be able to buy like demons for your army. So I had 3 units of 10 of the old metal bloodletters, like the proper OG bloodletters, not the weird ones we have now. And my entire plan was I used to drive forward with my rhinos, jump out, and then like deep strike my demons within 6 inches of those squads, and it was like and they could charge as well on the turn that they arrived. So I would like literally just throw demons at you, and then my Space Marines my Chaos Space Marines would run in and attack you afterwards, and it was so good. It was so good, and you had that. You could bring a greater demon, but you had to make it into one of your. I'm pretty sure there was an item you give a squad sergeant, and then when he died, he would like turn into a greater demon, and it was so cool because you had like this 5-man suicide squad that would just charge into the enemy. They would all die, he would die, and the next minute this great big bloodthirster would just pop off into your opponent's lines, and they would have to deal with it. It was just so great, like so fun. But then we got 5th edition, and they taken demons away from Chaos Space Marines and screwed Chaos Space Marines over, and it's only really this past, I would say, past few editions that they've kind of give Chaos that Chaos vibe that they used to once have. I'll not have my rant that I had yesterday about what I think they're going to do in regards to Chaos in the future. Maybe I'll leave that for a video. But yeah, I think as a Chaos players, I think we're in for a good time. I know people are disappointed. I know that they haven't got their their year of chaos, as they keep calling it. I don't think that was ever a thing. Not, at least not in Games Workshop eyes anyway. But I think we're in for a really fun time as Chaos players. I really do. Right, I'm going to paint a bottle. I will be doing a tutorial for this, but I might as well do it. Paint one here now. Let's have a little look at what Corey's posted. Oh yeah! Oh man, they are pink. They are pink. I like it. I like the green. I like the blue. I like the pink. Yeah, that's a lot of fucking Noise Marines. Holy shit. That's 3 squads. I like it. I like it. It's a lot of Noise Marine death. Yes. It's a real shame that you can't have a reinforced squad up to 12. That would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. I would definitely run 12 of them in a squad. But yeah. But guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm very excited about Space Wolves. I was playing Space Marine 2 last night, and I'm running around as a Grey Hunter from Ragnar Blackmane's company, and I was just thinking to myself, you know what? I need to collect a Space Wolf army later this year. That's gonna happen. So if you like Space Wolves and you want to see me paint a Space Wolf army, then that's definitely going to be happening. In fact, I may have gone out to my local shop this morning and picked up Ragnar Blackman. So you know, keep an eye out for the channel. Right, so basically a pot, we basically paint them Thunderhawk blue, and then we're going to do some stuff to it. Yeah, I got to run 18 and a 15, 18, 18, you've got 3 units of 6. Yeah, I'm running 12 tonight against my mate's guard army. My mate's guard army, I'm playing a 1,000-point game tonight. And I'm playing Imperial Guard, and he has in his 1,000-point army a command squad with a commander, a veteran, another veteran, another veteran. Well, basically a command squad. Lord Solar Leantus, the dude on the horsey. A 20-man squad of Krieg, Death Corps of Krieg, in a dedicated transport. I don't know how that works. Oh, is that 2? Must be 2 squads. Because there's only 1 dedicated transport. So there must be 2 squads of 10. Not 20. But I'll find out tonight. An artillery team, which I'm assuming is that big artillery piece that was in the army box. 5 Death Riders, and then 10 Kazakin Stormtroopers, a Rogel Dawn tank. Like, what the hell? How am I going to kill that? And a Scout Sentinel. So yeah, my list is Lucius the Eternal, a Lord Exultant, a Demon Prince on foot, 2 Noise Marine squads, 10 Infractors and 10 Tormentors. I reckon I've got the close combat edge on him. I reckon I can mince him in combat, but I've just got to survive that shooting. I've just got to survive that shooting. I think it's going to be fun. So, Using whichever colour you want in the bottle. So for me, I'm going to be going for this Carbolite green. You want to basically look at the angle, and like the bottle is going to be, the liquid is going to go like this, alright? So you basically just want to draw a line of where the liquid is going to be going to. And then fill the rest of it in. Alright, doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. I mean, you're not entering Golden Demon with this, so don't worry about it too much. Alright, and then just give it a couple of layers so you've got a nice opaque finish of the green. Okay, let that dry. How's the Emperor's Children coming along? Hello, World Eater Mike. They're coming along very well. Just finishing. I've got this guy to finish off, which I'm just doing now, and then I've got the other two guys for the Infractor Squad. Not the Infractor Squad, the Tormentors. Get these two guys done, and then I've got 10 Infractors built, and I'll be able to then start on the Noise Marines. I've got the first two. Well, kind of. The weapons will be done separately. They'll be mounted on corks. So, have you participated in Golden Demon? I have. I have 3 Golden Demon finalist pins. Never won a Golden Demon, but I do have 3 pins. I need to go back, actually. I'd like to try to get another one. Alright. Okay, so we are going to get this Thunderhawk Blue, and we're going to get a little bit of Fenrisian Grey, and not too much on the palette. And what we're going to do is we're going to slowly but surely blend this highlight here. Alright, so if you imagine the light is hitting this bottle, okay, you can kind of see it on the camera. I don't know if you can actually. There's like a line of light coming down here, right? You can kind of see it. Alright, you can kind of see it. There's like a bright point here, and then there's like a line of light coming down. That's kind of what you're going to be following here. And if you look at that side, you kind of get the same thing. Alright, so you'll want to do a line of light there. Okay, and this is all about light theory and color theory and all of that weird arty stuff, which we're not really going to go massively into here. I will in the video, but we're not in here. This is a very quick how to paint bottles without going into massive detail on a YouTube video. So what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of the Fenrisian Grey, and then all I want is I'm just going to dab it on little lines and create that line. Alright, and now I'm going to smooth out the blend and the highlight. But essentially that's all I'm doing. I just want to create that highlight there. Now his arm's in the way, so you can do a little bit here. But the main part of that's going to be the green. So for the green, I get the Carbolite green. And I'm going to get a little bit of Moot green, because Moot green and Carbolite green work really well together. You kind of get like that bright green there. It's kind of cool. And then where you get your highlight, you're just going to follow that line and put the highlight in. Alright, again, you don't need to be worrying about being massively neat. But essentially, you can already see that you have a highlight going all the way down the bottle. And you've now got a darker point near his leg. Alright? It's pretty much... This is basically how to do this bottle. And then all we do is we add a little bit more Fenrisian grey, and then we just bring it up a little bit more, keeping it a little bit smaller, and that's about it. Now for the other parts of the bottle, like the lid and everything else, you can just work out where your highlights need to be and then drop them in. And then for the bottle with the liquid, add a little bit more of moot green. Now one thing I am going to do now with that is at the top, just here along the line, I am just going to do a thin edge highlight down. Okay, now basically you want a bit of an edge highlight along the top of the liquid, because that's going to sort of break the liquid and the glass bottle apart essentially. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is where I put my initial highlight this side, I'm just going to highlight that on this side. Alright, so we can push that a little bit more. We will push that a little bit more in a second, but you kind of sort of start seeing how it's starting to take shape. What we are going to do is we're going to get a little bit of white. I use this white, it's okay. I would prefer to use something like AK white, but I haven't got any and I need to get some. So I'll have to remind myself to get some at the weekend. Alright, so let this dry. Oh, and thank you very much, mate. Yeah, the verdigris works really well. I'm actually quite happy with that. I have a video up on the channel of how to do it like really quickly with a sponge, and I did it on this guy, like a real quick. And that was entirely painted with a sponge. It was a fun video to do. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out. It's quite good. But the verdigris works really well, like even this on this scathing guy. It kind of works quite nicely. Right, so I'm going to get a little bit of white. Not too much, just a little bit. Just want to brighten that up a little bit more. I'm just going to get that highlight a little bit brighter. Now you could spend absolutely hours blending that in so it is smooth. But then I have to remember that this is a gaming piece and I'd like to actually get it finished. Do you also play Warhammer Only Paint? I do play. I will be playing tonight against my friend's army. Now, what we're going to do here for the shadows, and this is kind of a bit freaky, I'm going to get Nagaroth Nightshade and I'm going to make a glaze and I'm going to shade the bottle and the green at the same time. Purple and green are such great combinations when it comes to contrast. Such a good colour. So Nagaroth Nightshade is really, really dark purple. Make a glaze. That's where I'm going to end up drawing all over my hand again. Like this. And then pull the purple into the recesses. And if you don't know how to do a glaze, I'm pretty sure I've got a video on my channel on how to do it. But if not, I can always do one for you. So you want to leave that to dry because it's a glaze. It's quite thin, so it should only take a couple of seconds to dry. But we'll start getting that done. I used your Angron base brass guide to paint my Angron. Oh, wow, thank you. I had a lot of fun doing Angron. I kind of regret selling the World Eaters, to be fair. But then, if I had, I would never have started Ember's Children. Alright, and then right along the bottom. Now remember, don't push too hard with the purple, because what will happen is the purple will start building up and then you'll start getting a more real obvious purple tint. Now I'm borderline now on that glaze here. If I do a bit more purple in that corner, that's going to go from a nice subtle purple tinge to a more opaque purple, and that's not what we want. So I'm just going to start getting the highlights in. But I want to first just get this green just a bit brighter. Now the purple, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a purple kind of like an edge highlight, but it's more of more like black lining, to be fair. And then very carefully just draw a thin line down the bottom, and this will give the illusion that this is reflective. There you go. Quick and easy bottle. Hey Alf, how's you? So quick and easy glass bottle. Starting my Easter time off, and I'm now finished building my EC army box set so I can paint tomorrow. Nice. I'm really looking forward to getting my Fulgrim next week. Really looking forward to it. I'm really gonna have a lot of fun painting that. No idea how I'm gonna turn that into a video series, but I guess that's a part of the fun, right? Right, I think this guy is fine for now. I don't think there's anything that I really need to do on this guy for now, apart from the base, and then finish the weapon off, but I'll do that later. So I think he's good. We can put him away, and then we can crack on with that guy and this guy. So let's get the pink. Do the pink on this guy. In fact, I'll do the pink on both of them. But yeah, really looking forward to getting that guy on the table tonight. He has a nipple ring. I think that's so cool. But really pleased with how he's turned out. Ta-da. Welcome in, Black. Feel free to share some of your stuff in the channels. Yeah, he has a nipple ring on his armor. So class. So Emperor's Children. This brush is at the point where it is about to die. So at some point your brushes develop the perfect point. And this is that point. This brush has the perfect point. So probably in another week or so of use, that point will disappear and then the brush will be dead. Destined to become a dry brush. yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the getting the big toys for the army. I think Fulgrim is going to be very, very fun to paint. Gonna have to look to get some Emperor's Children emojis done. Right, let that dry. Oh dear me, time's at 3:30. Oh wow, we've been streaming over an hour already. Still think they made some odd choices leaving out the Hellbrute and the Predator tanks, but I'm guessing it's because they have special Hellbrutes and tanks planned in the future. I don't know. I don't know. I think what they're going to do with Chaos Space Marines is, I think, each flavour of Chaos Space Marine outside of your standard Chaos Space Marines, so the Black Legion, Renegade, Codex Chaos Space Marine army, so your 4 cult armies, I think they're going to have a distinct flavour and play style in regards to how they work. So, and I think that's going to be reflected in the units that they get. So, I don't necessarily think we're going to see Predators. Well, we might, but I'd like to think that if we do get Predators, say, for the Emperor's Children, that there'll be noise marines, like sonic weaponry on them, rather than twin las cannon or auto cannon. I think that kind of sort of weirdness, because if you look at the Death Guard, they have the Plague Burst Crawler, which is essentially the Aquilon from the Heresy, the tank mortar tank from the Horus Heresy. It's essentially one of them. So I think we might see, I'd like to see like a Chaos version of a Sakaran battle tank and stuff like that in the Chaos Space Marine armies rather than Predators. But you never know. And Hellbrutes, I'd be fine with an old school Dreadnought with sonic weaponry. For the World Eaters, I don't understand why the World Eaters haven't got red butchers and haven't got... Like, I would like to see, rather than Hellbrutes, Chaos Contemptor Dreadnoughts and Chaos Leviathan Dreadnoughts. Although a Hellbrute, for me, should be a possessed Leviathan Dreadnought. Like, if I was designing Chaos, that's how I would do it. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. That would make sense. But we'll see. I mean, I think there's definitely going to be things coming for both armies, for all 4 of the armies. I mean, look at that weird robot that the Thousand Sons have got. Like, they're weird. I've got a video planned about them to talk about them because they're not what they had in the Heresy. Like, if you have a look at those things, I'll see if I can get a picture. Actually, I'll bring it up on the screen. 1,000 bums in the sun. 1,000 bums. Where are they? There they are. Yeah, exactly. They're men of iron. That is exactly what I've been saying. Yep, they're old men of iron. If you actually look at their heads are identical to the Ironkin for the Votan. So, if you actually look at them, they have the exact same heads of the League of Votan. And we all know that the Votan, not the dwarfs, but the actual supercomputers that they worship, the Votan worship or revere, are the artificial intelligence from the Men of Iron. So why are the Thousand Sons using Men of Iron? Corrupted, chaosified Men of Iron. What is that about? Yeah, I would buy the codex purely just for that law section on those robots, because they are clearly Men of Iron. I mean, are they the ones that the Thousand Sons have found and corrupted or reprogrammed? You know, as Magnus made a deal with them years and years and years ago. But my question would be, what happened to all the Castellaxes that the Legion had? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this shaded, and then I'm just going to go AFK for a little second because I'm going to grab a drink. Should have grabbed one when I was getting ready to stream, and then I'll be back. Alright. Yeah, good point. Could well be. So I'm just going to slowly work more on these guys. You get the pink done on them. And then, yeah, probably stream for another hour or so. But give me a second. I'm just going to go and quickly go and grab a drink. Ah, it's better. Here's what I'm thinking. Are we ever going to get a book of Lionel Johnson and Bobby G coming face to face? Oh wow. Oh, that's a nice librarian primer. I do like that librarian. Very nice. Yeah, that's good stuff, that. Nice. Very good. Right. Need a little bit of Screamer Pink in my pink horror. Oh, I'm sorry, Cassie. Did I not give you any biscuit? I do apologise, baby girl. Why are you under my desk? I'm trying to do non-metallic gold for the first time. How did you find that? The thing with non-metallic gold, it's all about the volumes. So I was playing around with a non-metallic gold recipe on this Stormcast. Very rough, needs a lot of smoothing. But yeah, it's all about the light placements and getting the shadows in. Not being funny, Cassie, but your breath is ranking and you are under my desk. Thank you. I didn't mean to upset you like that, but thanks for the kiss on the way out. Breath like a buncher. Right, a little bit of Screamer Pink in there. But that's good that you want to try things like non-metallics out. Non-metallics can be quite difficult to do. Yeah, that's the whole point, man. You just got to have a go at it. Practice your basically where you want to place the light. That's the key. Doesn't matter about the smoothness of the blend or anything like that. It's where you're gonna place those highlights and those shadows. That's the key. I mean, like I was doing on this guy. So you had the highlight coming down, but then you had the little shadows. Obviously I can go back in and tweak this and pull the highlight up, or put in some shadows into this area there, and you know get a little bit of purple if I really wanted to. Nice glaze of purple, and because the purple would be a real good contrast, darken down those shadows a bit more and refine it a little bit more, because it's only paint, you can paint over it, and you're using incredibly thin paint, so you can work that. But I had a lot of fun playing around with it. Classic pointy painting. Literally just paint a leg. It's classic. It's what I'm famous for doing. Just painting a leg. Right, let that dry. I'm going to push the purple a little bit deeper into the deeper recesses, and then I'll do the highlight, and then do the highlight on the rest of it. So here we go. And then get the black tidied up and varnished. Then that's the long part, is then the highlighting on the black. I can't believe there's been no articles today. No decent articles, apart from the drop pod one yesterday. But yeah, I'm going to try to get live streaming a lot more. Next week I'll have the proper tutorial. I want the proper tutorial for the Emperor's Children to be up on the channel. So I want to get that up before I start doing the tutorial for Lucius. So I want to get that done. So I'll probably be up the Friday or Saturday next week. And then from there, it's then getting ready for Lucius the Eternal and Fulgrim. I cannot wait to get Fulgrim. I'm going to have so much fun painting that model. Yeah, I'd like Chaos to get Dreadclaws. Pardon me. I think a plastic Dreadclaw will come, but I think it's going to be more for the Horus Heresy rather than 40k. Right, let that dry a little bit, and then I'm just going to tidy everything up with some Emperor's Children and then start highlighting it. How long have I been painting for? Pooh, years. I've been in the hobby since I was 9. I was a studio painter for a couple of companies. I kind of worked freelance for them for a few years. I used to do commissions, but I don't do them anymore. Now I just paint my own stuff. So yeah, even designed my own game at one point. So, which was kind of cool. Oh. So just getting some Emperor's Children. It's pretty thin. You just want to tidy everything back up. Thank you. Yeah, I've been painting for a while. It's kind of sort of settled into sort of painting more like GW's box art, because I quite like that style. But yeah, painting is my jam. I enjoy the painting. Right, and then what we do now is we get the Fulgrim Pink and do a 50-50 mix. Sandy Black, hello all from Devon. Hello Sandy, welcome in. My plan for the bases is, good question, the bases are going to be like this. In fact, I'm in the process of recording a tutorial. So now that's fully dry, I'll do all of the dry brushing and stuff for it. And then I'll get that up tomorrow. How are you, Sandy? So first things first, before we do the edge highlighting, I need to do a little bit of a glaze along the top part of the pink, and then I'll get that highlighted. You know, you just get that. Well, welcome in, welcome in. Are you into the hobby yourself? Are you into Warhammer? Do you collect paints? Are you new to wargaming as a general, or are you a veteran player? What's the score? So just getting that highlight on there. Alright. Thank you very much. What, Mike? Okay. Nice and quick and easy. Just correcting a couple of mistakes there on that wash. The last bottle I made was made of lead. D&D, the old guard. I've nothing wrong with lead. It's a staple of a lot of our childhoods. Some of my first miniatures were lead. Couldn't give them to kids nowadays. Oh, good God, Lord, no. Right. That's that highlight done. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start doing the edge highlighting on that, the pink. It's not too difficult. Still 61 subscribers to go, and then we hit 4,000. Getting there, slowly but surely. Interesting. Castle Brushes does some pretty interesting freehand work on his banners. Is that a picture of Lorgar in a church? I tell you what, his freehand is amazing. I'd love to be able to do that. His freehand is so good. Although that little hair coming out the side would annoy me. I mean, bearing in mind that's on the banner for the command squad for the Horus Heresy. So it's not a very big area to play in. And that is, yeah, amazing. Like, really, really good. I mean, that's proper painting. I'm glad I knew that was going to come off. So he's then going to paint him in the middle. That's mental. Absolutely nuts. crazy good. Crazy good. Right, let's get these hedge highlights done. Okay, so first things first, edge highlight. So this is just a 50-50 mix of Emperor's Children pink and Fulgrim pink. And then for these little spikes, you just want to... Unrelated to Warhammer, but I'm wondering how Baron's War is. I never played it, but I would love to start. It's an amazing game. As soon as I get my hands on the 2nd edition rulebook, I will be doing a full breakdown set of videos for the rules. It's a very, 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 very good game. Very, very good game. Should all go to War Games Atlantic's social media and tell them to send me a box. No, you don't need to do that. I'm only joking. But yeah, it's really good. There are going to be a couple of weird elements at the start. I can't believe how expensive the kits are. And they're plastic and they're only injection molded, but like, look at the Krieg. Yeah. But the thing that a lot of people forget is the actual tooling for the molds and the actual sort of the work that goes into creating the molds is expensive. So, you know, it's, and plus it's GW's a business. So, you know, they're there to make money. I mean, could argue that it is still expensive and too much, but when you look at these guys, when you look at this, right? So when you look at the where did he go? I definitely put a built model in there. There he is. So this box of minis, all right, you get 24 multi-part plastics in a kit, in a box, okay? Okay, 24 models, and they're £25. All right? But the difference is, when you look at the size of this dude compared to the size of a Space Marine, all right, there's probably about twice as much plastic in that guy than there is in this guy. And this guy comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. This guy is in a far lot more pieces. There's way more detail on him, and there's like double the amount of plastic in one miniature. So yes, I get that GW is expensive, but it's also a far better quality kit. Right. So, you know, there is that. Sort of. GW don't really care about third-party retailers, to be completely honest. They're constantly shafting their third-party resellers, which is crazy considering that the vast majority of their sales are done through third-party resellers. Because, you know, the vast majority of people are going to buy the product at 15 to 20% off rather than go directly to Games Workshop and pay full price. But the issue is that GW have shareholders. They have a board of directors. They're, you know, a multi-billion-pound corporation. They create a lot of jobs in the Nottingham area for the factories, the warehousing, the logistics, and office staff, and everything else. And that's not even looking at the rest of it when it looks at like worldwide, with all of the retail stores around the world and distribution hubs as well. It's a huge beast of a company. Whereas you look at Warlord Games, who create games like Bolt Action and, you know, Hail Caesar and stuff like that. Yeah, they do plastic kits and resin kits, and they're not as expensive as GW, but they're literally in one building in Nottingham, and that's it. You look at Mantic, who would probably be one of the next biggest sort of UK companies doing wargaming, and look how cheap their stuff is. But again, they have one building in Nottingham. The only other company that I would say is producing plastic kits on par with what Games Workshop are doing would be Warcradle, who produce games like Wild West Exodus and Dystopian Wars and stuff like that. Their plastics are amazing, but again, they're literally one building where they are, one factory. Games Workshop have 2 factories and are about to build a 3rd. So, you know, that's a lot of employment. A lot of employment, and they're huge. So, yeah, it's expensive, but it's expensive because of the size that of they are. And another thing as well is that if Games Workshop went under tomorrow, the entire tabletop wargaming industry would go belly up with it. So companies like Warlord Games and Mantic and all of these companies, they would literally tank overnight, because like I know a lot of people don't like Games Workshop, but the more successful they get and the more successful they do, the better it is for the industry as a whole, because they are the industry. They are the one that brings in the new people. They are the one that brings in the fresh meat, those new kids. They are the gateway drug to tabletop wargaming. Like, nobody is playing computer games like Helldivers 2 or Space or World of Warcraft or anything like that and thinking, you know, I wanna play Kings of War. You know, nobody's doing that. Like, nobody watched the Mad Max Fury Road movie and went, I want a Marauder Orc army for Warpath from Mantic Games. Everybody watched that movie who was into tabletop wargaming and went, I want to start an Orc army for 40k. Do you know what I mean? So they have a real cultural impact as well, unlike other tabletop companies. So without GW, we don't have tabletop gaming like we had. It would revert back to what it was like in the 80s. It would be done in dingy stores that isn't really vacated much, you know, the old stereotypical stores, and it would be done online and by very niche customers. That's it. It wouldn't be mainstream. It wouldn't be talked about in mainstream media or anything like that, because you wouldn't have people like Henry Cavill and big time celebrities openly admitting that they play these games, because it just wouldn't have the mass appeal. So, yep, it's expensive, but it's expensive for a reason. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I may live in Northern Ireland, but I am not a Discourse Miniatures. I don't bash GW for the sake of bashing them. If they do something wrong, sure, I'll make a video and give my 2 cents about it. But I'm not one of those channels that just bashes onto GW for the sake of bashing on them. That is definitely not what I do. I remember recording a 30-minute video about her and she literally bust me. I think I got into the hobby when I watched the Starties, and in the comments someone mentioned miniatures and painting. I really like that, and you could get the models. Yeah, Starties is amazing. Like over the past 5 years, there has been certain things that have made Warhammer break into the mainstream in a very big way. Astartes was one of them. When you had people like big, massive social media influencers, people like Asmongold and Joe Rogan and stuff like that, watching Astartes and talking about Astartes, and when, you know, they're not known for being fans of Warhammer or anything else, that put it into people's conscience. And then when you have people like Henry Cavill openly coming out and saying, I'm a massive Warhammer nerd, Warhammer 40k is amazing, this is my jam, normies started getting interested in it. And then you have games like Space Marine 2 that have sold nearly 7 million copies, and is probably one of the biggest games that come out last year. That has been absolutely mental and is amazing, and that has brought so many people into the hobby as well. So, there's lots of little cool things like that. Like, if you've been around Warhammer in the Warhammer hobby for a long time, like, the hobby isn't going to be how we remember it when we got into it. It is going to change. I would argue and laugh and say we're about to go Disney. We're going mainstream. There's a potential here for Warhammer 40k or a Warhammer IP to become the next MCU if it's done correctly. So, there's that to look forward to. Oh yeah, it was a massive part of my childhood. I remember growing up and playing with our toy guns in the fields, pretending we were Ultramarines fighting aliens. We had no idea what an Ultramarine was. We'd only read White Dwarf. Occasionally played games of Space Crusade and tried to play Warhammer 40k. It was crazy. I still have my original rulebook that I bought in 1989 on my shelf. It's my pride and joy. My original Rogue Trader rulebook. Yes, I'm that old. Right. These guys are looking good. Looking good. Yep. I found 25k Marines from the Horus Heresy I was going to use for something. I'm now building them for Tormentors and Fractors. If you've got the army box, Alf, you could probably use a lot of the spare parts and you use them on there. I've got a bits box now full of spare parts that I'm thinking of just getting a box of Chaos Space Marines and using them just to have something a little bit different. I think before that I saw the Ultramarines movie and the Hell's Reach movie and did not know about miniatures and wargaming. Oh, the Ultramarines movie. Oh, that was so good, yet so bad. I remember being at Games Day when that was announced. They had like a big screen in the main hall, and like at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon they announced what they were going to do, that they were going to do this movie for Warhammer 40k called the Ultramarines movie, and I think it's shown some early screen scenes from it. I can't remember, but then like the Games Day the year later, they were announcing that it was going on pre-order, so they made it in like 12 months. And I remember pre-ordering it, and I've still got my collector's edition that it come with the little graphic novel that was written by Dan Abnett. But it is so lore inaccurate. Oh my god, it busts the lore so much. So the general premise of the story is the second company, I believe, are fighting against Tyranids, and the entire first squad of the company, the veteran squad, gets wiped out. Apart from one of them, who becomes the sergeant of the new squad. And these scouts are the scouts that are on this planet that were sent somewhere else when this big fight happened. And they all get elevated to become full Marines. and the captain is the one that decides to do that rather than the chapter master or the chapter itself. And they become the first squad. They become the new #1 squad for the company. And then they get sent on this mission to go to this planet to check on this signal. And they basically find this Imperial Fist and a chaplain from the Imperial Fists. And they fight some Chaos Space Marines, and it's it's so bad, but yet so good. One of the most impressive things about it is the cast of guys that do the Space Marines. I mean, like, you're talking, at the time it was made, it was like the cream of the cream of British male acting talent. Like, Sean Graham is in it. From that Netflix show, Adolescence. He plays one of the Space Marines. You've got the other guy from This Is England, the dad who's really bad and abused his kids. He plays one of the Space Marines. You got Sam Worthington from who played alongside Daniel Day-Lewis in The Last of the Mohicans. He's one of the main Space Marines in it. Sean Pertwee from Dog Soldiers is the main character in it. John Hurst is in it. Like, there is the if you've watched Game of Thrones, Maester Lewin from the Starks, Maester, who looks after Bran, gets killed by the Greyjoys. He is the captain in it. And there's another guy who plays the apothecary. It's like the cream of British actors is in this film. It's mental. Absolutely mental. But it was dog shit. The animation was not that great. The story was not that great, to be fair. And for some unknown reason, Games Workshop will not put it on Warhammer Plus. So that kind of says it all, really. Like, they own it. They could quite easily stick it on Warhammer Plus and allow Warhammer subscribers to watch it. But they don't. So that kind of says it all. I don't mind 40k going Disney. I just want to have fun, low rules. I feel 10th is just made for competitive play. Then going to friends, having a beer. I don't know. I think you can have some fun with 10th edition. Have fun games. Just don't play match play. You know, don't play match play. Play things like Crusade or your narrative play. But I know what you mean. Did I varnish this last night? Did I varnish this? I can't remember if I varnished that yesterday. Well, do you know what? We are in a second. I know I definitely didn't do this one, because this one needs tidied up. But yeah, the Ultramarines movie was next level cringe. It was not great. Did I enjoy it? Have I watched it multiple times? Yes, I have. Did it make me want to do an Ultramarines army? Yes, it did. Is it some of Dan Abnett's finest work? No, it is not. Right, I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to get this varnished. And then we can get that black edge highlighted. And then those guys are pretty much almost finished, to be fair. And the greatest of them are all the Ultramarines. That line from the... Yeah, that line pissed off so many people. Like, you got to remember that when this film come out, the vast majority of Warhammer fans were on things like Bolter and Chainsword and Warseer and places like that. And, like, you see when that trailer come up with, and the best of them all is the Ultramarines, that broke the internet. That really did. Like, the absolute infighting between fanboys of different chapters was absolutely horrendous. So funny. So funny. I remember the sub channel forum on Bolter and Chainsword for the Ultramarines, and it just got absolutely bombarded from the other communities about how shit the Ultramarines are. It was brilliant. I mean, I think a lot of the Ultramarine hate that we have nowadays come from that movie. Like they've always had people have dug at them because they've been the poster boys, but I think that movie was the reason why people just hated the Ultramarines so much. Like, hated them with a passion. Because of that one line, and the greatest of them all is the Ultramarines. So great they weren't even involved in the heresy. We all know the greatest of them all is the Space Wolves. Has anybody pre-ordered The Favoured Son, the new Fulgrim novel? Also, if anyone wants to know what I'm doing right now, I'm just matte varnishing the black areas. That's how you get those highlights standing out so much. And the greatest of them all was the Ultramarines. Oh, that's going to make me chuckle now for the rest of the night. I'm going to be rolling dice later on and I'm just going to start laughing. Class. Do you know what? How much is it to buy on? How much is it to buy on Amazon? Is it available on Amazon Prime? Right. Right, if this is available... Oh, it's not there. That sucks. Right. I think I found it. I have. Right, I'm going to bookmark this. Right, it's saved to my watch later. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have a watch along. We'll do a watch along stream for the Ultramarines movie. Yeah, I've just found a really good version of it on YouTube. So we're going to do a watch along version for it on YouTube, and we'll watch it on the stream. It's only just over an hour long. we can absolutely giggle at it. I mean, that just says it all, really. The Ultramarines movie is on YouTube, and has been on YouTube for years, and Games Workshop have never taken it down. It's almost like they don't want to acknowledge that they own it. It's like if we acknowledge that, we're going to have to take responsibility for it. Anyone else that had done something like that, Games Workshop would be crawling up their arse. But no. Right, let me get this varnished, and then I'm going to call the stream. And then that wind is nasty, because I am going out in about an hour and a half to my gaming club to play against Imperial Guard, and that's going to suck. Well, it's not. It's going to be a fun game, but it's going to suck the fact that I'm going to have to fight a crap load of tanks and armour with no armour. Not sure how I'm going to do it, but it's going to be fun playing anyway. So if anyone in the chat hasn't yet subscribed, please do so. Be really awesome if you could. We are literally something like 60 subscribers away from hitting the big 4,000. I think once I get in and around the 5,000 mark, I'm going to be able to apply for the partner program with GW and get sent some freebies. And as I've always said with that, if I ever do become one of them, then any of the stuff that I don't want or use, I'm just going to give away to you guys, my community. I'm not going to sell you it like some other content creators will to try to make money. I'm not going to stick the reviews behind a paywall like other big channels do. I'm literally just going to post it up here for you guys, and then when I'm done with it, and if I don't need it, I'm going to give it away to you lot. That's how we roll here. Alright. What army do you have? Space Wolves. Nope, Emperor's Children. But I will be collecting Space Wolves when they come out. 100%. I'll be doing Space Wolves. You can guarantee that that will be happening. So, also, yeah, there is a link for the Discord. Oh, wow. That is nice, Prime. I like that. I like that Lieutenant a lot, man. That is really cool. Very, very nice. Yeah, I really like your I like your gradients on your armor. That's pretty sweet. You don't see very many mortifactors. You really don't see many mortifactors. But that's pretty cool. Yeah. Very nice. Right, but on that note, I'm going to mag to grid and go. Alright. I will probably jump on again. Tuesday and Wednesday next week, I'm pretty much on my own because of the other half goes to work in the office. So I will probably stream some more then. I may even do one on Saturday for a couple of hours. See how I'm feeling. Hopefully by that point we're starting to work on some Noise Marines. Okay, but I might be a little bit busy getting this Empress Children tutorial done, because I want it done for everything coming out next week or a week on Saturday. So I'll probably start it this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, and we'll have a chat about how my game went tonight. But I'll probably put photos and stuff in the Discord tonight, which will be good. All right, but if you're not in the Discord, there's a link in the links on the YouTube channel, so feel free to join. And if you do want to support in other ways, you can join the members area, and you get your own little private area of the Discord as well. It's only 99p a month. It's pretty good, nice and cheap. And yeah, thanks for all hanging out, and thanks for the guys that have joined, and Primer, Corey, and Alfred. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. The next video coming up will be the base for this, how to base my Empress Children army, which is what I'm going to finish it off later on, and then that'll probably be up tomorrow at some point. And there's going to be a Baron's War painting video going up as well. And I have another painting with a sponge video in the works. Alright, and then we're going to be doing that. Okay, so there's quite a bit of content. And then obviously, as of a week on Saturday, once my pre-orders arrive, I will be very busy getting Lucius the Eternal painted and up on the tutorial done for him. And at some stage, I will try to work out how I'm going to do Fulgrim. And get him done, but there'll be nice little pictures in the Discord for you lot, if you want to see them. But that video and everything will be in the members area for Fulgrim, okay? Because that model is going to be a lot of work, but you'll get to see the pictures in the Discord. All right, peeps. Thanks very much, and I will catch you all in the next thing. See you later.